Hey folks, Eric Scheidel here, the HVAC service mentor. And this week we've been talking about being on call and what it's like to be an on-call technician and how to survive being on call. And I thought it'd be fun if I shared with you my first time on-call experience. It's kind of funny and it was kind of fun and it was helpful. I learned a lot, so stick around. Okay, so my first time on call, this was gosh, a long time ago. In fact, I was completely unprepared. The way it ended up that I was on call is that I was a maintenance technician, and I was very brand new. I think this was my very first year, even working in the field on furnaces, and I was very, very raw, and very, very unskilled and not very well trained. And the person who was supposed to be on call wasn't suddenly for some reason. I don't remember why. Either they parted ways with the company or just blew it up. I don't remember what happened. But anyway, they approached me and said, Eric, can you please cover on call because we got we got nobody. And I thought, sure, what the heck. And it wasn't too bad. My boss is like, if you have any trouble, just call me up. I'll help you on the phone or whatever we got to do. But we need someone to cover this. And it was fairly mild weather. It was still kind of early in the winter. It wasn't too extreme. It was just going to be one night. And so I said, sure, I will. And sure enough, I did get a call right around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I went over to this house, and what I find is a Lennox G12 furnace with a standing pilot. And back in those days, there was still a bunch of those older standing pilot furnaces around to work on. And this one was actually in great shape. It was fairly recently new. It was about middle aged, just in its lifespan. And hey, you work on what you work on. It was a long time ago. And it was a pretty straightforward issue. The pilot had gone out. So I relit the pilot, and I realized that, well, the pilot flame is, pretty small, and the thermocouple's kind of burnt on the end. So we're going to go ahead and clean the pilot burner. We're going to replace the thermocouple, and we're going to check it out. So I did that. I talked to the customer. I said, this is what you need to do. This is what it's going to cost. No problem. Went ahead and performed the service, installed the new thermocouple, cleaned the pilot burner, checked some things out, inspected the heat exchanger. It all looked pretty good, and lit the pilot up. Furnace ran beautifully. Awesome. Did my paperwork, finished up with the customer. Now, after I had gotten done putting everything back together and I was about to put the doors back on, and keep in mind, I'm in a dimly lit area, and I wasn't super prepared, so I really didn't have a big light with me for some reason, like I normally do. I just left it in the truck or something. I don't know. All I had was my little Maglite flashlight, and I was working with that stuck in my teeth. Anyway, I see in the shadows this little piece of metal about this big or whatever. I didn't know what it was, and I grabbed it and I just tossed it in the little trash can that was next to the clothes dryer. Cool. Didn't think anything of it. So I go back, and a couple hours later, the same guy calls back again. And now his house is up to temperature. He's comfortable, but he tells me that now his fan on his furnace randomly turns on and off. He didn't used to do that before. I'm like, ooh, something wrong with that. I should go take a look. So I do. I go out and I check it out. And what I notice is that this is an older furnace, of course, right? And so it has a temperature activated fan on control. And the way that those work is the old Honeywell combination fan and limit switch, if you're familiar with those. And if you're not, what it is a temperature sensitive element that inserts into the firewall of the furnace. And as the heat exchanger gets warm, it rotates this little dial that trips a switch when it hits a certain temperature. And that's what causes the fan to come on during a call for heat. And then on the other hand, when the burner shuts off, the fan keeps running and it cools that element off, and it rotates the other direction and trips a switch to turn the fan off at the end of a call for heat. And I watched the little dial begin turning by itself, and there's no call for heat until click, the fan would come on, the dial would cool, click, fan would turn off. Well, I take the burner plate off and I look in and I notice that the pilot flame is unusually large. It's a good 6-8 inches tall, reaching up into the heat exchanger chamber. I thought, that's not unusual. And as I'm sitting there, kind of pondering over what in the heck could have possibly caused that, I received a vision of myself tossing that little piece of metal into the trash, and something popped in my head, said, that was probably important. So I go fishing in the trash can and I find this little piece of metal and I get to shine a light on it, and I realize it was the pilot orifice that regulated the gas flowing through the pilot burner. And I hadn't been aware of this. It had fallen out of the pilot burner, and I didn't notice it, and it was now running with no pilot burner. So unregulated gas flow just torching through there, and it was strong enough that it was warming up the heat exchanger, causing the fan to turn on and off and on and off. So I pulled it back apart, reinserted the part, the pilot orifice back where it goes, tightened everything back up, turned it back on, lit the pilot. Now I have a normal, strong, healthy pilot flame. Whew. I explained to the customer my minor error, and he was happy, and I went on my way. So that was my first on-call experience. Hey, I'd love to hear from you guys. What was your first on-call experience like? Let me know in the comments below. Was it smooth and easy? Was it an absolute horror show? Whatever it was, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hey, I'm Eric Scheidel. I'm the HVAC service mentor. Make sure you like this video, please. It means a lot. I'd love to hear from you guys one way or the other. If you don't like it, don't dislike it too. That's okay. That won't hurt me. Subscribe to the channel. We offer helpful tips and training videos out here for our HVAC service community on a regular basis. And I want to make sure that you get notified every time we do. So subscribe and click the notification bell to receive those updates. Don't forget to go to www.hvacservicementor.com and check out the training opportunities we have there. Lots of things that we can go in far more detail in than we can here on YouTube. Also, while you're there, sign up on the email list. You'll see a prompt for that. Every new sign up on our email list gets access to a free full-length training course, so you can A, learn something, and B, check it out and see what it's like. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.